Chapter 4 of Junebug. Page 24. Please follow along with your eyes as well as listening with your ears. 4. Mama gets home after 5 o'clock. She works at a nursing home for the elderly and has to take the bus. Then she has to climb all the stairs just like us. She says you never know who's going to get in the elevator with you. Same thing with those parking garages downtown. She won't go in those either. We get out the macaroni and cheese from yesterday, and hot dogs too, while Mama changes out of her work clothes. She's not a nurse, but she's an assistant. She wears a badge that tells what she is, and she's got white sneakers that she cleans off every night. Tasha and I help get the table set and pour drinks and everything. No matter how tired she feels, Mama makes us do it right. We can't even have the TV on while we eat. That's why Robert doesn't like to eat over with us. He can hardly swallow unless the TV tells him how. Where's your Aunt Jolita? Mama asks us finally. We both shrug and sit down. Neither one of us wants to be the one to tell her that Jolita wasn't here to babysit as she's supposed to. I don't want to mention that Jolita's been hanging around with Georgina. We watch Mama's face while she dishes out the macaroni and angrily slaps that spoon down on the plates. Mama sits down to eat, but she kind of pokes at her food. Not too hungry, I guess. When Mama pushes her plate away and looks up, I say, guess what? Tasha runs to get a piece of paper and a pencil from next to the telephone. What? Says Mama in a tired voice. You gotta guess. I say, bouncing on my feet. She starts to smile. We won tri-state megabucks? The lottery. She asks. Nope, guess again. Oh, Lord, I don't know. Tasha can read, I yell out. Junior, Mama says sharply. She doesn't want me making fun of Tasha because the teachers told Mama that she learns slow. She can. Watch this, I say. I write, I can fly on the paper and pass it to Tasha. I can fly, she whispers. Mama stares at her as if she doesn't believe it. Write something else, she says to me. So I write, I can run, and Tasha reads that too. Then Mama gives Tasha a great big hug. She holds Tasha's round cheeks and rubs her forehead against hers. Looks like she might cry a little. She learned that in school? Mama asks. Nope. I say that reading teacher who comes here in the little room downstairs. She taught her. Took a while. You thank her for me, Mama says. Be sure you thank her tomorrow. I nod. Okay. But I'm thinking, what would Trevor say if he knew I was hanging out, helping my little sister learn to read instead of going out with the guys? Mama starts clearing the dishes. I have to help scrape the plates into the trash. Tasha gets to go play. So, Junior, it's going to be your birthday in a couple weeks. No way, I say back. What are you talking about? Mama looks at me. You know it is. May 18th. You'll be 10. What do you want for a present? Corks. I say, that's all I need. Corks. Young man, says Mama, I do not understand you at all. That's what you want is corks? Yep, they'll do the trick. I give her a big wide smile. Even Mama doesn't know my secret plan. Of course I need corks. How can you send a message in a bottle without a cork at the top? Mama's standing at the sink now with her hands in the soapy water. She squeezes out a sponge and starts wiping the countertops real slow. You can tell she's thinking about something. She's had something on her mind since she asked us where Jolita was today. I'm getting a little nervous waiting for it to come out. Maybe I did something wrong. Seems like when you're a kid, you're always doing something wrong, but I can't think what. My supervisor at work is going to be starting up a new program, group apartments for the elderly, for the ones who aren't so sick. She asked me if I want to be a resident supervisor for a group. Where at? I ask, frowning. What's going on here? Across town, you and Tasha would have to go to King Elementary. Group apartments for elderly people? Now, hold on. We'd be living with old people? I ask, making a face. We'd have our own place, smaller than this, though. Smaller? I repeat with a squeak. Seems like I turned into an echo. How can any apartment be smaller unless it's a dollhouse and we're toys? Yeah, smaller. Mama says it would mean Jolita'd have to get her own apartment. We'd be on our own. Oh man, I mumble. I can't get all this straight. King Elementary is big. I've been there before. There's an indoor swimming pool over there, and the kids have a great big bunch of kids are a great big bunch of show-offs because they have the newest school in town. Besides, what about leaving my buddies here like Robert and Darnell and Miss Robinson? I have to hang with my buddies. What about Jolita? Where would she go? We're just gonna go off and leave her? Don't you want to move? Mama asks. I don't know. I never thought much about it much. Never thought we could move. Didn't Mama say be living with old people? I don't know about that. I really don't. Look at Miss Swanson. She's old. Old and mean. Imagine a whole apartment building full of Miss Swansons. What if we hated it there and wanted to come back? There's a 2-year waiting list at the housing authority to get into Auburn Street Plaza. That's where they live now. I'd be 12 years old by then. Aren't old people grouchy, I ask? Mama shrugs, wiping off the stove now. Some are, just like everybody else. She smiles at me. The counter can't get much cleaner. She's rubbing the holes right out of the sponge. But now I'm thinking the other way. Maybe we should move. Swimming pool is almost like the ocean, a little square ocean smelling like chlorine. Maybe I could learn to be a good swimmer over at King. Maybe. And I could get away from Trevor and Georgina and Trevor's gang. What about Jolita? She brought me bottles today. Maybe we could get to be friends. I don't know if I want the job. I've never been in charge of something like that on my own. Managing elderly people is not always easy, she says. Then she sighs. So I don't know. Something to think about, I guess. After everything's cleaned up, I go over to the living room window. There it is again, that ugly old gun factory, rising up so high it blocks the sky. I try to look way past it like I did with the pine cone, but words don't come. I see a big dirty wall, shattered and busted up. If we move, will it be someplace else just like this? Or it'll be different? Down in the tar, I see Darnell come out of the back door of the building, walking slow. He kicks at a loose piece of tar. It's like the concrete kind of outside. Kicks it into the chain link fence. Then he lays his head against that rusty wire and stands there. No older guys are with him now. But I can run down there real quick and see what he's up to. The top of page 30, if you've lost your spot, after the long paragraph where it says, Mama. Mama, I holler, heading for my jacket. You don't have to yell, she says, coming out of the bathroom. Can I go outside and see Darnell? She frowns for a second because it's almost dark out. Yeah, I guess, but don't go wandering off. I won't, I call out, already out the door. Darnell's mother used to be my babysitter, and Darnell likes to think he's my big brother, bossing me around, giving me his old toys, watching out for me. This past year, Darnell started growing like a weed. His sneakers are huge, size 13. His hands are big too. He's over 6 feet tall, bigger than his older brother, Gabe. Robert and I like to tell Darnell he's going to be NBA material, but Darnell says he's got other plans. I bang open the back door and run out to the playground. Darnell, I yell, what's up? Nothing much. He glances at me and breaks off a hard little piece of smile. He tosses it at me like a coin. I got to be quick and grab at it. He swats my head when I get closer, but I duck. He smiles again, a little longer this time. Your girlfriend break up with you? I ask, wondering why he's sad. He looks at me for a moment as if maybe he's going to tell me something, and I hold my breath to see if he will. Then he just shakes his head. Nah, he says, want me to go get Robert? We can play a little 2-on-1. Robert's getting real good. He laughs and shakes his head, puts his face down close to mine. No, he says, listen, Junebug, catch you later. I need to be alone for a while, okay? My face gets frowny. I bet I look like Tasha, but I can't help it. But I have to go. I respect Darnell. I always do what he says, okay? I say I start to walk backward toward the door. He gives me one more little smile, then zips up his jacket and heads out front. I get the feeling the place he's going isn't much fun. I go back upstairs to my bedroom, bottom of page 31. Tasha's playing doll babies on her bed. My side of the room is getting real crowded. My bottles are everywhere. I take the 4 new tiny ones into the bathroom and give them a good rinsing to try to get all that perfume smell out. Next page, 32. Phew! Mama calls from the living room. What are you doing in there? Taking a bath and cologne? These bottles sure do smell. I dry them off on the bath towel. Each one is clean and shine. No gooey labels stuck on them either. I set the new ones on my dresser and get to work on my notes. Nice, neat handwriting. I asked Miss Jenkins how you write to somebody you don't know. She said to put to whom it may concern at the top. So I already started putting that part on, even though it sounds terrible. After I write a few notes, I line up my bottles from little to big. First, the new tiny ones from Aunt Jolita, then some hand lotion bottles, ketchup bottles, A1 sauce, a great big cider jug, all kinds of soda bottles. I like looking at them. I can picture them in my mind floating on top of the waves, each one carrying my secret wish to a far off place. When I think about that and see it all happening, I don't feel so scared about turning 10. These bottles are going to be my birthday flotilla, just waiting on those corks. Later, I'm lying in bed asleep. When I open my eyes, I realize I've been hearing Mama and Jolita's voices, loud and angry. Mama's saying something about how Jolita never helps out, and she should help watch us kids if she's not going to get a job. You spoil those kids, Jolita shouts at Mama. That makes me mad. She does not. I want to get out of bed and go protect my Mama. Then in the half-dark room, I see Tasha sit up and flip her covers back. I hear her sniffling. She slides across the floor in her bare feet, sucking on her 2 middle fingers and crying. I push back my covers and let her climb in. She lies down and closes her eyes. I rub her back a little, the way I know Mama would if she didn't have to be up in the middle of the night trying to set Jolita straight. You baby them. Junebug's almost 10 years old, and what's he doing most of the time? Jolita says real loud, collecting bottles and hanging around his little sister when he should be out with kids his own age. This discussion is not about my children, Mama says in a quiet voice. It's about you helping out as part of this family. I'm proud of my Mama for saying that. Mama goes into her bedroom and shuts the door. Jolita goes into the bathroom and I can hear the water running. A little later, all the lights go out, but I lie awake a long time, wondering about everything in the world Next page. Worrying about everything in the world, it seems. Top of 34. Well, Tasha lies next to me, sleeping through her dried up tears. My last worry of all, I still didn't do my paragraph for homework. Guess I'll stay in from recess and get that done. First time I didn't do something I'm supposed to do.